Hello and welcome to True Audiophiles. Today I'm going to talk about my record store day haul for Black Friday. I hope it wasn't as cold for you guys out there as it was for me if you guys were waiting in line for record store day, but where I live, it was about 30-ish degrees, maybe even a little colder. But you know, I was able to get everything I wanted. There was some stuff that I was going to get, but it didn't really, the stuff was just too expensive. Like some examples, Dead Milkmen is like almost 60 bucks. And there's a couple of other things, a couple of live jazz titles that were a little bit more than I really wanted to spend as well. But you know, maybe eventually I'll get them, but I just wanted to hold off just because I already was getting a ton of stuff already that I wanted more. So got to have your priorities when you don't have unlimited funds. So, but I'm going to go over the ones that I got today. Like I said, I got everything that I was looking for, that I was going to buy, and so I'm very excited about my finds. So some of them are relatively low pressings in terms of number of things that were pressed. So first one I'm going to show was definitely not of all that limited, but it's Bruno Mars. It's his debut EP. It's better if you don't understand. So basically 3 of the 4 songs were on his debut album, but the one song, Somewhere in Brooklyn, was not. So very cool. First time that's been on vinyl. Next one up, I think, is the one that with the lowest amount of pressings, though. So I'm not sure how much many of you are going to appreciate this one, but it's some super heavy metal thrash. Maybe I think would probably be the best way to describe it, maybe, but I'm sure someone will be out there to correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, it's Municipal Waste, and it's Massive Aggressive. I think it was Massive Aggressive, yeah. So basically, it's a toxic green and purple merge colored vinyl. Is limited to, I believe it's 1,000 copies that were pressed. I don't know if that's worldwide or nationwide or whatever it might be, but anyways, very short press run of about 1,000, they said. So very, very cool. This one is another one that was not all that short of a pressing. It's Phil Collins, his 12-inchers, they called it. Basically, it's the extended remixes or extended mixes of a bunch of his songs like Take Me Home, Susu Studio, Don't Lose My Number, One More Night, which I'm not all that big of a fan of. But anyways, basically extended versions of a lot of his bigger hits from the 80s. So kind of cool. This one I'm very excited to check out. I really am a huge Talking Heads fan. And it's Tentative Decisions, Demos, and Live. So it's basically a live, an LP and a 7-inch. And it's basically got some old demos from the early days of the Talking Heads. And it includes, actually, I think it's 2 tracks from before they were the Talking Heads, when they were the Artistics, is what it looks like it's here. And then I guess looks like 1 or 2, I think, live tracks. I think it looks like there's 1. So very, very looking excited, looking very forward to checking this one out, and very happy to have it. Next one is, again, another one that's far from a short print. Matter of fact, the store that I went to, where I purchased this, they had tons and tons of them, and I'd be very shocked if they sold out before the end of the day. But it's basically, the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, the way it was originally intended. 4 tracks that were cut off the final version of it are added back into this copy. One thing I'm not 100% certain of, but I'm sure someone out there will know for sure, but it says monaural on the top, but then there's a little asterisk down below that says stereo. I'm assuming it's the stereo mix, but you know, I don't know for certain. But anyway, cool thing to have. Next one up is Aha, Take On Me, the 40th anniversary edition. There are, looks like 8 different versions of Take On Me for this. So it's basically a super extended 12-inch version. So there's an instrumental version, 1985 instrumental version. There's a new 40th anniversary extended version. There's a 2018 symphonic version, a 2017 acoustic version, an MTV Unplugged version, a live version. So all kinds of cool different versions of Aha's best, or maybe not best, but at least their most popular track. This and then I've got two more, and they're the two that, besides the Talking Heads, are probably the two that I was most looking forward to and excited about. First one up is Sugar, Copper Blue, the singles collection. It's basically a collection of the 12-inch singles from the Sugar Copper Blue album, which has, I believe 3 side B tracks that aren't available on the album. And then there's a couple of live tracks on it as well, but 4 12-inch singles. Really love Sugar. If you don't know who Sugar is, it's Bob Mould. And he also was in the band Husker Du back, way back in time, and also has a lot of solo stuff out there as well. He's done a lot of other side projects, but probably best known as his solo projects or his solo albums, Sugar and Husker Du. Probably most well known for Husker Du, but anyway. And then last, but certainly not least, the one that I actually purposely had to go very, very early for because my store only had 1 copy of it, so I wanted to make sure that I was going to get it. Oh, I'm sorry, there's actually one other one after this too. So, but anyways, lead up to it, I'm not going to prolong it any longer. It's Prince Around the World in a Day 7-inch single box set. There's 5 singles on this. Technically in the United States, they only had 3 of those come out as singles. Raspberry Beret, Pop Life, and America came out in the US. But Paisley Park came out as a single in the UK. And then they've also added the song For the Tears in Your Eyes as a single, which basically came out for USA for Africa. He basically made 2 different versions of that, but this was limited to 1,985 copies, so very excited to get this. I'm kind of a completist, especially when it comes to Prince, and I have the other singles box sets that have been previously released for Sign of the Times and Diamonds and Pearls, and now I have this one also. Then last, and this was definitely going to be the last, is Dillinger Escape Plan, Under the Running Board. Don't know a whole lot about this particular one, but apparently it's a 1998 EP that I think there's 4 tracks on this. I have a lot of their other stuff, but I don't have this, so I'm looking very forward to listening to this one. So that one was also a pretty limited run also. So, but that was everything I got for Record Store Day. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't get, a lot of live stuff that I tend to stay away from live stuff, tend to stay away from picture discs. And it's too bad because there was some stuff that came out that were pretty interesting, but were either live or picture disc, and I just didn't have the budget for all of that. But like one of the things I was kind of interested in was the Devo Christmas song, but again, it was a picture disc. But then there was also a Ramones live at CBGB's that I'm kind of interested in. Fleetwood Mac live release, Alice Cooper live, and then there's a couple of jazz like Roland Kirk. There's also a Miles Davis album that came out, but I basically have that release on CD, and they're going to be releasing, it's going to be part of a much larger box set that's coming out, I believe, in January. So it's live at the Plugged Nickel, and it's a specific concert date that was done at the Plugged Nickel. So I'm going to hold off on that. I might end up eventually buying the vinyl, but again, I do have it on CD already, so hard to say if I'm going to do that. But anyway, that was everything that I got for Record Store Day, Black Friday Record Store Day this year. What did you get? What were your favorite ones that you were most looking forward to getting, and did you get them? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Put them in the comment sections here for me, and I want to thank you for watching. I also want to thank you for subscribing, if you subscribe. If you don't, please do so. I'd love to see some new subscribers. And like I said, that's everything I've got. So I want you to have yourself a good rest of the day and a great rest of the week. Thanks a lot.